it's been like this all night long. Last night sucked. Right before bed, I realized my phone was at 50%. So I grabbed my battery pack and started looking for my phone charger, the actual cord, only to realize that I had left it in the hotel. And you know, I have 8 days or 7 days of walking, and I used at least probably 50 to 75% of my battery every single day, sometimes more for shooting video, audiobooks or music, and then I'll obviously map, you know, to see where my next water is, and you know, if I lose the trail and all of that. So that kind of screwed me over. I also forgot some Prilosec I wanted to get in town, and so, oh yeah, and the wind, oh my gosh, the wind. I had to get out of my tent like 3 different times and refortify. Nothing actually came out, but like the wind was so strong that it was pulling, that it was loosening my straps that went to my stakes and things like that. It was crazy. In fact, it bent one of my little bungee cords that I use and broke it off completely. It was mad, and it was loud and crazy, and I probably went to sleep. I mean, I kind of dozed off like for like 10, maybe 20 minutes here and there, but I really didn't fall asleep until like midnight. In fact, later than that. I remember being out of my tent at 1 a.m. trying to fix stuff, and so it was ridiculous. Finally, I put in some really loud rain and thunderstorm noises in my ear with this, and that helped me fall asleep, because just the beating of the wind, my tent was just loud, super loud, and it was just terrible. Anyways, I'm 3 miles from the highway, and so I'm gonna go back to Tehachapi for half the day, or at least a few hours, to buy a new charger and to get some Prilosec, and I might buy some duct tape because I need to get some as well. Met an awesome guy while I was hiking named Jeff, and he was like, "Hey, I'm headed back to town in like 20 minutes if you just want to wait by my car." So I did, and he took me into town. I'm now at Kmart, gonna buy the cord, some Prilosec, some duct tape, and then I might hang out here until the afternoon. Got my stuff. Now I'm headed to Burger King. Hopefully they have some chargers there so I can hang out there. I might also go to that bakery. The guy that picked me up, his name is Jeff. He gave me his phone number. He said I could call him and he'd take me, so that's pretty awesome. There's a bit of it's kind of funny, but there's a bit of celebrity with hiking the Pacific Crest Trail. Like when you get to towns, it's like, "Oh, no way, you're hiking," and they're always excited, and a lot of these towns kind of promote picking us up and helping us and saying, "Hey, these aren't homeless vagabonds, like these people have like put their lives on hold to go hike this," you know. And so we're not treated quite the same by a lot of people as like actual homeless people are, but yeah, it's kind of cool. So I was hiking back, as I said, from my campsite after only about 3/4 of a mile. I run into Jeff and his dad. I believe it was his dad. And they kind of asked me what I'm doing. I told them that I was going back to Tehachapi. And he basically was like, well, we'll be heading back in 20 minutes. My car's over there. Just wait at my car. And so I did, and he took me back into town. Really awesome. Went to Kmart. Went to Burger King, hung out there for a while. And Jeff gave me his number. So I texted him, and he picked me up and took me back to the trail. Thank you, Jeff. That was very nice of you. He's a cool guy. He's section hiking the PCT little bits at a time over the summer because he's a teacher. We also bonded because we're both Mormon. And yeah, very nice guy. Very cool of him. But I'm back on the trail. It's about 11 o'clock. So it's getting pretty warm. If the wind keeps up, then I might be able to hike through the heat. If not, I'll hunker down and find a good spot. Made it to the top of the mountain. Ooh, cotton mouth. Made it to the top of the mountain. I got a little break area here I'm gonna enjoy. It's 1:30, so gonna hang out here for at least an hour, maybe an hour and a half. There's nothing like sitting down in the shade, drinking some water with a nice cool breeze after you've hiked through the desert up 2,000 feet. I think it just took a day to break in, but my feet feel perfectly fine now. Kind of back to the standard. Whenever I take a couple days off, or a full zero, they're always really tender. I think because they're in some kind of recovery or something. And so then hiking on them is painful. Kind of like in the mornings when I get out of my tent. First thing in the morning, they're kind of hard to walk on. But then once I start walking, then after just a bit, they're fine. And so it's kind of a more prolonged version of that. Yesterday, pretty much the whole day, my feet were super tender. And so every step was kind of like, ooh, ah, ee. But now they're good. So that's good. Just woke up. Have an awesome little nap right here on my tent. Slept for about an hour and a half, 2 hours maybe. My phone charged to 100%. I charged to 100%. It was a good nap. I needed that. Full of food. I'm hydrated. Got my nap on. I'm gonna pack up and keep hiking 10 miles. All packed up. Let's get going. So this is one of the longest stretches without water on the PCT. It's definitely the longest so far. It's 17 miles from Highway 58. I guess I kind of cheated a little bit in that when I went back to town today, I loaded up on water. So it hasn't been quite as bad for me. But I still have 6 miles to water with a 2-mile uphill right here, which will be kind of the hardest part. And I have, what, maybe a little over a liter of water left, which 6 miles is not long at all. If anything, I'm worried about the uphill. It's about 800 feet in 2 miles, which is not technically super steep. Super steep for me is like 1,000 feet in 1 mile. That is steep. So 800 or about 1,000 feet in 2 miles is still definitely uphill. It's not steep. Anyways, excited for some water. Made it to the water. That one's a little gross. We're gonna get it right out of the tap up there. I have a dear diary as well, except it's
the video.
The video. Dear diary, I'm here. Cowboy camping, and it's magical. It's a little cold, but yeah.
You should start referring to it as cowgirl camping.
I'm cowgirl camping because sexism. And how dare we just call it cowboy camping? Or we could just call it cow camping.
Tell your YouTubers that everyone calls it cowgirl camping and then it can spread from there.
It's normal. Everyone calls it cowgirl camping. Anyways, I'm gonna eat some food now.